talk to you again.
We missed you. We missed you a lot.
Oh, he's a much tougher negotiator than me, and he's a much better negotiator than me. There's not even a contest.
हम दोनों का मिलने का मतलब 1+1 2 नहीं, 1 और 1 11 होता है.
Viewers, Prime Minister Narendra Modi could literally walk on water, and the opposition in India or the ecosystem in India would still find a way to complain that he didn't part the oceans like Moses. Viewers, let's talk about Modi's meeting with Donald Trump at the White House, where Trump showered him with praise, called him a great friend and a tough negotiator, and even admitted to being charmed by Modi's influence and power. It should have been a moment of national pride. But no, viewers, for the perpetually dissatisfied ecosystem, for them it's just another opportunity to dust off their tired playbook of ridicule and outrage. Viewers, Trump, a man not exactly known for humility, went out of his way to signal how much he values Modi. He dropped his usual tariff bluster and opted for a reciprocal approach, a diplomatic win that showcases Modi's ability to negotiate on the global stage. Then came the big announcements: India securing F-35 fighter jets, a game changer for national defense, and the extradition of Tahabur Rana, key plotter in the 26/11 attacks. Finally bringing a semblance of justice closer. These are monumental achievements, viewers, the kind that should unite a nation in appreciation of its leaders' efforts. But unity, appreciation, these are apparently foreign or alien concepts for Modi's critics. Instead, they've returned to their favorite pastime, ridiculing Prime Minister Modi as if it's their moral obligation to find fault in every breath he takes. It doesn't matter that Modi has delivered results that strengthen India's position globally. No, for the opposition, it's never enough. They'd rather nitpick and sneer than acknowledge the obvious. Modi is playing chess on the world stage while they are stuck playing checkers in their echo chambers, viewers. If Modi went to the moon, the ecosystem would complain, why didn't he go to the sun? If Modi cured world hunger, they would ask why he didn't solve climate change by lunchtime. If he brought peace to the Middle East, they would grumble that he forgot to fix their potholes on their way back. Viewers, the truth is that criticism isn't rooted in reason or principle. It is not. It's a reflex, it's a habit, a compulsion to oppose Modi for the sake of opposing him. They are not unhappy because Modi is not delivering. They are unhappy because Modi is. And that's making them irrelevant. So while they sulk and snipe from the sidelines, let's discuss the bigger picture.
देश के प्रधानमंत्री को अपने बगल में खड़ा करके अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति न सिर्फ रेसिप्रोकल टैरिफ लगाने के लिए धमका रहे थे, बल्कि हमारे देश के लिए फ्रॉड, अब्यूज और वेस्ट जैसे शब्दों का भी प्रयोग कर रहे थे.
Already cases against corruption are pending in America, and instead of replying that Mr. Modi would have said that we will take action in India, and would also ask Trump to take appropriate action, but instead that he indirectly said that every Indian is a scammer.
वो घर परिवार छोड़ करके अगर जा रहे हैं तो वो इसलिए जा रहे हैं क्योंकि वहाँ अपॉर्चुनिटी बेहतर मिल रही है, उनका जीवन अच्छा होगा.
वो सिर्फ अपने इमेज के लिए काम करते हैं कि मैं विश्व का नेता हूँ. अब डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प के मिल्स कराएंगे और डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प वापस हमारे यहाँ टैरिफ लगाएगा.
You heard the reactions. Let's quickly open this up. Guru Prakash, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dr. Anand Ranganathan needs no introduction. Lokesh Jindal, Ravi Srivastava, political analyst. Professor Monojit Mondal also on the panel. And Ishtaran Bhandari will be joining us shortly. Lokesh, why is the opposition / ecosystem unhappy? Are they unhappy because they were expecting the worst? यहां तो मोदी जी गए and Trump said you're a great man, we will have reciprocal tariffs. अगर इंडिया इतनी लगाएगी तो हमको भी लगाने का हक है. तहव्वुर राना को वापस लेके जाइए. What is the reason of your disappointment?
I'll tell you. Good evening, everybody. Transparency International conducts the Corruption Perception Index, and India's score has dropped down from 40 to 38. Its rank, which stood at 92 in 2022, it is now 96 out of 180 countries. Now, this is a matter of serious concern. On the front of our ranking with respect to corruption perception globally, we are going down. Questions will be asked. What are the measures that have been taken up? Are you constituting a legal mechanism, an institutional mechanism? Are you coming out with certain form of laws? Or what are you going to do in order to deal with this deteriorating rank? So when the opposition is asking questions, that is what it is supposed to do. And the government is supposed to come out with replies and come out with the solutions it has to offer. Please tell me, where are we wrong? Pranesh, I want to know where, if at all this is happening and our ranks are faltering on the global level, if the corruption is rising, aren't we supposed to raise that red flag?
Let me ask you a question. You know, you spoke about Transparency International. Now, I don't want to talk about the credentials of that organization. Less said, the better. No, 1 minute. I'm only asking you a question by the logic you extended. I asked you about Modi, Trump. You went to Transparency International. Look at the performance of the Congress party. But your party still exists. Rahul Gandhi is still leader of opposition. आप अभी भी डिबेट पे आते हैं. कांग्रेस लीडर्स जाते हैं दूसरे चैनल पे. चल रहा है ना? You have no response. No, 1 minute. F-35 fighter jets, तहव्वुर राना, पन्नून पे बोल दिया there are more people in the ranks जो वापस भेजे जाएंगे. What were you expecting to hear? Trump ridiculing Modi, that didn't happen. Ravi Srivastava ji.
Good evening. First of all, Mr. Donald Trump is a transactional president. He believes only in give and take, and sometimes give less and take more. So whatever has happened is a part of that. And please do not make that statement, you are a great man. What he would have said? Would have said you are a useless man. So this is a common courtesy, saying somebody, you are a great man, you are a tough negotiator, you are better than me, I have no contest with you, etc., etc. The only good thing happened in the whole process is the ice has broken. Because he was not, Mr. Modi was not invited for the coronation of Donald Trump. And finally he has gone there, shaken hands, etc., etc. And Trump said, yes, we missed you. What is F-35? F-35 was given 15 years before to Pakistan. It's a scrap kind of a thing, which will be forced on India. We'll have to buy it with the hard-earned taxpayers' money. So, and the tariffs, we equalize the tariffs, we will reciprocate. The only thing, how it will take, where it will take the India's economy forward, what gains will be achieved to the Indian economy with this. This is all in the realm of speculation.
Yes, sir.
Nothing has been achieved.
You see, Ravi Srivastava, sir, everything is in the realm of speculation. Only thing said about Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party is the actual truth. You are talking about Trump extending courtesy. Now, you know that what could he have said? This is how, world leaders meet. This is the tone and tenor of the conversation. Let me remind you and our viewers of what Barack Obama had, how Barack Obama described Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi has a nervous, unformed quality about him, as if he were a student who done the coursework and was eager to impress the teacher, but deep down lacked either the aptitude or the passion to master the subject. ये देखिए courtesy. Overflow हो रही थी courtesy about Rahul Gandhi. Dr. Ranganathan, before we get in the BJP spokesperson, what would you tell the ecosystem?
Good evening, Pranesh, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, in the last 11 years, tell me one thing that Modi has done that has been appreciated by the opposition. One. एक बता दो. They promoted open defecation because they hated Modi's Swachh Bharat. They promoted obesity because they hated Modi's Fit India. They promoted oppressive dress code because they hated Modi's school uniform guidelines. For the opposition, Modi hatred has transmogrified into hatred for India. One hopes Modi doesn't wake up one day and recommend breathing enough clean air, or the opposition leaders will pick up axes in their thousands and begin chopping trees. ये तो सांस लेना बंद कर देंगे. One can almost picture Modi saying, Mitro, my government wants citizens to involve the diaphragm to separate thoracic from the abdominal cavity and contract via phrenic nerves to allow gases to move in and out of the pulmos. And Rahul immediately responding, we oppose this. Roll it back or India will burn. Until Shashi Tharoor telling Rahul, sir, Modi is talking of breathing. No, but seriously, what is the opposition up to? They want India to fail because then they can say India has failed because Modi was running it. And this lapdog Darmyari media happily plays along. My only issue is, Pranesh, that Modi should have taken the Adani question straight up and asked why, when Rahul Gandhi is calling Adani corrupt, have the Congress governments invested 85,000 crores in the same companies of Adani? Ye duplicity nahi hai. Look, coming back to the serious question of Indo-US trade, there is no two ways about it, Pranesh. The US is our vital trade and security partner. Unfortunately, because of historically our foreign policy was shackled by obsolete Nehruvian thinking, we've had a cagey relationship with the USA, but things are on the bend. More than 34% of Indian stock market assets are American investments. Indo-US trade has surged from $16 billion in 1999 to $201 billion now, double of French-US trade. And for a change, India has a trade surplus of 50 billion, which is still 1/6 of China's trade surplus with the USA. So the real bee in the Trump's bonnet is China for the moment, not India as far as tariffs are concerned. Returning to our relationship, NASA and ISRO are partnering. We have sent 200 American satellites into space. Our science collaboration is really strong. There is talk of building nuclear reactors together. Energy is a sector where both nations are looking to collaborate heavily. Time has come for us to realize we are what we are going to be because of the hard power and not soft power. We must demand returns from Trump whenever he negotiates. A Security Councilship should be put on the table. Now to the second issue that's very important. Please give me 30 seconds. Higher taxes, runaway national debt, hounding wealth generators, unchecked mass illegal immigration, unabated stifling of free speech, labeling, cancelling, unbridled wokeism and social engineering. Pranesh, I'm talking not of India, but the USA. America is broke and broken, and that is why Trump managed to convince majority of Americans, the blue-collared and the working class, the Latinos and the blacks, through promises that are quite frankly straight out of the socialist cookbook, if not the communist manifesto. Protectionism, high tariffs, trade promises that are honestly, in short, an American license Raj Indira Gandhi would have been proud of. A quick glance at Trump's executive orders and one thing is crystal clear. This time round, Trump is even more virulently America first, virulently anti-globalization, virulently anti-Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. He is choosing tariffs over talent, and therefore, although in the short run this will help America because through protectionism and high tariffs and quotas, Trump will create more jobs for Americans, more domestic growth and setting up of factories and lower imports. In the long run, protectionism and higher tariff will result in what they've always resulted in, a socialist trap that ultimately destroys the country's economy through less choice of consumers, outdated technology, increasing friction with countries, and higher prices because of lack of competition and ruling of monopoly. Remember Ambassador Kaz and Campacola, just 10 seconds. So we need to think carefully as to how India can traverse this tricky journey in the next 4 years, especially because finally we are seeing the face of new India. India is standing up and we should be proud of it.
Now, Guru Prakash, the ecosystem is not happy because Prime Minister Modi could not convince President Trump to come and take a holy dip at the Kumbh.
No, Pranesh, we must understand that it has been a very difficult week for the ecosystem. When India and France co-chaired the Global AI Action Summit, India is being positioned as a global leader when it comes to artificial intelligence. Right from yoga to artificial intelligence, do you think the ecosystem will have the capacity or the audacity to accept that? Absolutely not. The ecosystem is definitely terrified when they saw the president of the world's most influential nation, Donald Trump, praising the Prime Minister. the sort of words which you used in your racial observation as well. Great leader, tough negotiator. These are the signs of the changing times. And my friend from the Congress party was talking about Transparency International. We have to be very careful about it. Mr. Trump has cautioned us against the Breaking India forces. The Breaking India forces are active within India. The Breaking India forces are active outside India. So the ecosystem that you're talking about, Pranesh, is nothing but it represents the Breaking India forces. They're not happy with the fact that India is becoming the third largest economy. They're not happy with the fact that a prime minister who comes from extremely humble background is one of the most powerful prime ministers in the history of our country. Do you think they will accept the fact? Absolutely not. You saw what happened in Delhi. You saw what happened in Haryana. You saw what happened in Maharashtra. There is absolutely nothing left in the Congress party playbook. And definitely, I'm live from Bihar. Bihar will give you a similar answer. India's stature globally is rising. When we are seeing that Mr. Trump has already imposed a tariff on Mexico and Canada, he is about to impose a tariff on China. There is a great window of opportunity for India. Prime Minister Modi was there to take leverage for that. It is going to benefit India. It is going to benefit Indians. And let me make this very clear. Anything that benefits India, anything that benefits Indians.
No. Guru Prakash, when you say this will benefit India, what do you mean? The country India or the alliance India? Because, you know, half these people are disappointed because they see no returns of this trip.
No, I think Mr. Shashi Tharoor must take an orientation lesson of Mr. Rahul Gandhi on foreign policy and the impact of foreign policy on Indian economy.
Only if Mr. Tharoor gets an appointment. वो राहुल गांधी अभी बिजी है, अगले 2 साल के लिए कोई अपॉइंटमेंट ही नहीं है. रिपब्लिक डे परेड में नहीं आ पाए सर वो. Where is Shashi Tharoor meeting Rahul Gandhi?
Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Lokesh Jindal, Kamru Zaman ji, only these people get to meet Rahul Gandhi. But Manojit Mondal, Ishtaran Bhandari joins the panel. Ishtaran, good evening. Manojit Mondal, what do you make of, the commentary before the trip and what has happened when the two leaders met?
You see, normally in such cases, the party that I represent at times, be with the Prime Minister or the Foreign Minister of the country. We do not really critique the foreign policies or such foreign trips of the Prime Minister. But one thing I'm compelled to say, while you have recently the President's rule in Manipur, the state that has been burning for the last 2 years, why did not the Prime Minister go to Manipur even once? He is going to USA, doing all these, photo op, maybe get some work here and there. That's fantastic. We have no problem with that. But your own country, things are not going in the right direction. You're talking about Bangladesh. Here too, we are compelled to critique the Prime Minister. The Bangladesh has been a humongous failure as far as the foreign policy of the government of India is concerned. And I was completely enamored by my friend, Mr. Ranganathan. I knew, why are you going with the Prime Minister? I mean, such a great lecture on how America is benefiting us. My dear friend, you should be on the trip with the Prime Minister, maybe in the next trip. Fantastic, right? So, the point is, you are trying to, again, engage yourself in a kind of image-building exercise. But on the ground...
Professor Mondal, I'm sorry to say, sir, but when this, orientation happens of Shashi Tharoor and Rahul Gandhi, we will have to keep a chair for you. Because आपके हिसाब से Bangladesh is a failure of India's diplomacy and domestic policies. Sir, ये तो मेरे तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Only Trump can decipher this. इस तरह लोकेश से शुरू किया था मैंने. He began by saying that, look,
yes.
I asked him about Modi Trump, and Lokesh, as usual, went lateral. उन्होंने बोला Transparency International has said this. Now, we all know about Transparency International, their armchair research. It's like the Hindenburg report with that big disclaimer.
Pranesh, the problem with this vile ecosystem of imbeciles thinking of themselves as intellectuals starts not with this visit of Prime Minister Modi to the US. It starts when they disparage the Indian investigative system, Indian judiciary, and write to US saying that the Chief Minister, then Chief Minister, Mr. Modi, should not be allowed to come to US. What more anti-national activity can you do when you don't trust the systems in India, ruled at that time by a UPA government, and go crying to US? That is their intellectual level, where domestic issues they throw in the lap of foreign powers. But now they will have problem with President Trump doing a polite gesture and pulling the chair for Prime Minister Modi. Now they will have a problem with his saying, I miss you. Now they will have a problem with him appreciating Prime Minister Modi or the Indian economic power. Let us be very clear on certain aspects. They were in power when 26/11 happened, and they did nothing to Pakistan and did nothing to get people masterminding it from US to India. It is happening today. It is happening during the Biden administration, the toughest time for Prime Minister Modi, because it was hijacked by loony left in US and who have a fundamental problem with the background and the policies of Prime Minister Modi. Even in that tough time, he could buy oil from Russia, yet have trade with the US, which is what a balanced, mature power does on the world stage. And now that the situation has become easy, because all those people who criticize Howdy Modi and Prime Minister Modi hosting Trump because they thought Trump is dead and buried, Trump will never come back, who have been wishing for last 25 years that Prime Minister Modi's career gets dead and buried, if not him actually physically. There have been enough threats of that also.
Right.
Are now crying because the global order is changing and India is getting its respect there. They can keep crying because their mentality was vile. They went crying to US. Now US is pulling the chair for the Prime Minister of Bharat, and that I think is a proud thing.
वो लोकेश जिंदल बोल देंगे that Trump must have been under pressure. कुछ बोल दिया होगा. पहले इन्होंने बोला that look, Modi is such a weak prime minister that he wasn't even deemed fit to be invited for Trump's inauguration. Now that Trump extended a red carpet welcome, Ravi Srivastava says, look, it's courtesy. ये तो होता है. Dr. Ranganathan.
Just to add to the wonderful points that Ishkaran, my good friend, made, to underline the fact, I think he missed the most important point, which was that in the wake of 26/11, when our air chief Dhanoa requested Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to bomb terror hideouts in Pakistan, and they were ready to do it, he did not get the permission from the Prime Minister. And can you imagine, today is the anniversary, the sad day when 40 of our bravest Jawans were martyred in Pulwama. And 13 days later, when the armed forces requested Narendra Modi to do something about it, he bombed Balakot. That's the difference. So that's one point I wanted to make. And secondly, on a lighter note, my good friend Monojit Da is saying that I should accompany Modi. I think both of us should accompany Modi. I will accompany Narendra Modi, and Monojit Da accompanies Nirav Modi.
वो बोलेंगे पहले ले तो आइए. Okay, but Lokesh, what's wrong with what we've been able to achieve?
Pranesh, first of all, I never gave any personal disrespect. I never stated anything that meant any form of personal respect to our Prime Minister. Let me make it very clear. When we are asking certain questions, it is solely for the nation and as an Indian national. It is never meant to put our Prime Minister in bad light or make any personal comment against him. And when I'm talking about the visit to America, there are a lot of pressing questions that needs to be answered. Now we saw there were Indian migrants who were brought back. Quite unacceptable behavior was shown by the US.
Illegal, sir, illegal. Add the word illegal.
Migrants, right, illegal migrants.
Yeah.
And secondly, there are issues with respect to H1 visas, and there is a policy stand that is taken by the US president. He is calling India a tariff abuser. He is saying that he wants to resort to protectionist measures.
Now, let me ask you a simple question. This is, don't get me wrong. Between, like if you ask me, कि आपको लगता है कि डॉक्टर रंगनाथन को आपसे थोड़ी ज्यादा समझ है, तो मैं बोलूंगा हाँ, उनको ज्यादा समझ है. मैं अगर आपसे पूछूं कि फॉरेन पॉलिसी में कांग्रेस में शशि थरूर तो आपके हिसाब से समझ है, तो आप क्या कहेंगे?
बहुत सीनियर पॉलिटिशियन है.
उन्होंने क्या बोला है सर, देख लीजिए. ही इज पुटिंग इंडिया फर्स्ट, जस्ट लाइक मोदी पुट इंडिया फर्स्ट. व्हाई आर यू बिकमिंग अ कंपल्सिव क्रिटिक?
Pranesh, when we are raising apprehensions, we are bringing to focus certain issues that we consider as important for every Indian national.
F-35 is not important. Lokesh, why are you saying F-35 is not important? Congress's eagle is, faster, can, soar higher than F-35. What is the problem with F-35? Tahavur Rana is coming back.
Pranesh, tomorrow if we lose US as a partner for IT services, we are going to have massive balance of payment crisis. Don't you think as a trading partner, as a bilateral relations, we need a better tariff policy as against what has been quoted by the US president? Isn't that important? Aren't we supposed to ask questions on that? Or are we going to be satisfied with the jingoism and all form of portrayal of our Prime Minister at the international
You're not
forum?
answering my question. F-35 is jingoism, Tahavur Rana is jingoism, his extradition is jingoism. Lokesh, Ravi Srivastava ji, मैंने क्या बोला? If Modi goes to the moon, आप लोग बोलेंगे sun पे क्यों नहीं गए वो?
Pranesh, first of all, this ecosystem is a big problem. There is one ecosystem which asks questions. There is an ecosystem which asks that what did we achieve by Prime Minister going to US? The ecosystem asks that why the Donald Trump called India as a tax abuser or a tariff abuser. Why the Prime Minister dumped your own conglomerate Thadani in US and said, oh, we believe in the Vasudev Kutumbakam, etc., etc. I mean, whom he was a hand and glove.
Vasudev Kutumbakam is etc., etc. Ravi Srivastava. You see, Rahul Gandhi can go disparage India abroad. But if Modi speaks about India first, problem hai, Eastern.
Yes. Pranesh, प्रॉब्लम ये है कुछ लोगों को लॉ नहीं सिखा सकते, डेमोक्रेसी नहीं सिखा सकते, इंटरनेशनल अफेयर्स नहीं सिखा सकते, उनको सिखाने की जरूरत है कॉमन सेंस की. किन्हीं भी रिलेशनशिप में, इवन बिटवीन टू कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग पार्टीज, देयर विल बी एरियाज ऑफ कंसर्न. These are nations. Of course, there are areas of concern. Of course, we have to address them. But what is seen in any relationship is substantially what is happening. Substantially what is happening is things are going in the right direction. Of course, if you want to keep nitpicking, want to keep pointing the areas of concern, they will exist and they will get sorted out. Sometimes you have areas of concern with Biden, sometimes you will have with Trump, sometimes you will have with the next president, whosoever comes. Because it's an ongoing process. What has been achieved in the last 11 years in this ongoing process is rather remarkable, where you can, as I said, buy oil from Russia without and still buy F-35s, as you have said, from US, the latest, the best technologies, where you have technological tie-ups going up, where you have business tie-ups going up. So problem.
No, there is a pattern to this. It is a mindset problem. When the Prime Minister was going to the G7 summit, Jairam Ramesh had said that Modi is going there to salvage his diminished international image. Then, Ishtaran, just listen to this. When Modi was posing with other leaders at the SCO summit, Gaurav Gogoi said, a poor show at the beginning of the Ministry of External Affairs and Prime Minister Modi, our strong nation India is positioned at the extreme end and balanced by Pakistan at the opposite end. Just because Modi happened to stand in, on the extreme left. Now, this is their mindset. Guru Prakash, how will you convince people like Ravi Srivastava, Lokesh Jindal, Professor Mondal? What have you achieved? Unko bata dijiye sir, break it down in simple words. Why this meeting was important?
This meeting was important. Number one, we have an annual trade of $120 billion. We aim to make it $500 billion by 2030. Number two, commitment to resolve trade dispute. Number three, enhance military sales, F-35. Number four, increase people-to-people cooperation. I think Mr. Shashi Tharoor's job is to do orientation, but we have to understand, if the nation's benefits, if the nations are getting stronger, thereby people are getting stronger as well. The point is beyond my comprehension. The Congress party today, for the sake of opposition, taking a leaf from your argument, Pranesh, This Mallikarjun Kharge ji couple of days ago said कि कुंभ में नहा लिए तो गरीबी खत्म हो जाएगी. Mr. Sachin Pilot went and took a dip. Mr. D.K. Kumar went and took a dip. Mr. Digvijay Singh along with his son went and took a dip. So this argument, this entire opposition of the Congress party for the last 2 months has no logical connection, is without any base, without any argument. Like similarly, we all of us on this panel very well clearly understand that foreign policy is a bipartisan domain. There is no politics, there is no domestic political context given to foreign policy arguments, given to foreign policy articulation. But here, my friends from the Congress party, kabhi Transparency International leke aa jao, kabhi ye leke aa jao. We have to understand the regime change brigade, the Breaking India Force brigade are active today. And unfortunately, I say this with a lot of pain, I say this with a lot of agony, that my friends from the Congress party today are echoing the sentiments of the regime change brigade, are echoing the sentiments of the Breaking India
before you
Forces.
come in, listen
we have to
this.
understand, period.
Here's one senior BJP leader, how he summed up this trip. I'm quoting. So far, what we've seen from the press statements by Prime Minister and President Trump are very encouraging. Some of the big concerns we all had, have been addressed. On the question of trade and tariff, they've decided to sit down together, do a serious negotiation that will conclude by September, October. On the illegal immigration issue, the only thing missing was the manner in which they were sent back. Otherwise, the stand is absolutely correct. These are misled youth who've been encouraged and induced to migrate illegally. On the defense front, the commitment to sell us the F-35 stealth aircraft is very valuable, because this is a state-of-the-art aircraft. I'm very encouraged with the details received so far. You know who this is? Dr. Ranganathan, any guesses? Who this top BJP leader is? This is Shashi Tharoor.
No, Pranesh, you are 2 points here. You're absolutely right. Lokesh has a lot to learn from the expertise of Mr. Shashi Tharoor, except in one department. Wahan mat seekhe, warna belan aur sandal padenge. But other than that, he has a lot to learn from Shashi Tharoor. I don't know why you're laughing. I don't know what insinuation you understood. No, but couple of points. Let me expose the hypocrisy out here. ये लोग कह रहे हैं अरे tariffs में इंडिया को नुकसान. Okay, Trump is thinking of America first. When Congress thinks of India first, I want to ask a very simple question. America has a trade deficit with China of $300 billion. I know I have already said so philosophically or other economically, tariffs are counterproductive. But when you're thinking of America first, your first reaction as a politician is, I will increase the tariffs, I will increase the duties. Now, with India, with China also has a trade surplus of more than $100 billion. So I ask Congress, should India increase tariffs or lower tariffs? एक कंट्री के कोई और बात करते हो, दूसरी कोई और, सर कहीं और, पैर कहीं और, कोई नॉलेज नहीं है. थरूर इनकी क्लासेस लेनी चाहिए, एज आई सेड, बट एक डिपार्टमेंट में नहीं, बाकी सारे डिपार्टमेंट में यस.
मुझे तो डर ये लग रहा है कि वो रणबीर अलाहाबादिया मेड द कमेंट, बट अदर्स हु वर लाफिंग उनका भी नाम आ गया. तो मुझे हंसी आ रही है, लेकिन मुझे अब डर भी लग रहा है. रवि श्रीवास्तव, यू मस्ट आंसर व्हाट डॉक्टर रंगनाथन इज आस्किंग. कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं है सर. You know, one can understand a genuine concern. And I'm not saying that, look, you know, any policy or any person, politician is perfect.
The Congress party is an ocean. Jairam Ramesh will have opinion. Shashi Tharoor will have another opinion. Mr. Rahul Gandhi will have another opinion. If you are convinced with one opinion, go ahead with that. Who is stopping you? That suits your ecosystem. So why? I mean, it's a question that we should look at it objectively. That, you know, you don't know about the differential of the tariff. Yeah, we have a differential of tariff with the differential of trade with China to the extent of $110 billion. We are importing everything here and not exporting anything over there. They have taken over our economy altogether. So is this the healthy situation? Is this the way we are going to trade further? I mean, let's not.
क्या चाहते हैं सर, आप क्या चाहते हैं?
मैं चाहता हूं questions must be asked, right questions must be asked.
मैं भी तो वही बोल रहा हूं सर, right questions must be asked. But till you come up with the right question, sir, you know, we will have to move our attention to something else that we're discussing this evening. Viewers, let's move on.